Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hope. My name is Tammy Lynn Connors. This is my YouTube channel and podcast, Hope, helping other people evolve. This is my new friend, Wes. Hi, Wes. How are you?
How you doing?
I'm great. So it's so funny because I always tell people right before we even start, like, you're stuck with me forever. So Wes is my new friend and I'm his new friend, Tammy. So I came across Wes on TikTok, where I tell you guys a lot of times I just go on there just to see stories of hope. And what my vision and mission with Hope is just to see that you might be at home and feel like your struggle is only your struggle, and you're at home and you can't get out of bed or you can't get off the couch because you just feel so alone. And you might hear my story or Wes's story or Jamie's story or AJ's story and be like, oh my gosh, I can actually walk outside and take a breath and get through this struggle. Because some of these struggles that you've heard on my podcast have been like struggles that some of them I definitely would never want to go through, but through those struggles that they unfortunately went through, people have gotten to a strength. So I came across Wes's TikTok page. I came across it, Wes, and I saw that you were very positive is what I was seeing. And that was the first thing that I saw. And then I had seen some, things that you had just gotten out of prison recently, which was
Correct.
very recent, right?
Yes, May
May.
of this year.
Okay. So May of this year. And how long were you in prison for?
12 years.
12 years. And so that's a long time, right?
Yes,
So 12 years, if people, I think about being sober for 18 and a half years, and that's a really long time. So 12 years is like a really long time, especially to be incarcerated.
Yes, it is. And congratulations again.
Thank you. And congratulations on you for not being in prison anymore, and here you are,
Thank you.
And I see your posts and I watch, what you post on there, and that, that you're blessed, right? And that's what, like when I said, how are you today? And you said blessed, and that's something that I think all of us need to realize. Like I talk about that a lot. Like when I wake up in the morning, I have an attitude of gratitude because I got to wake up today.
And somebody didn't.
That's right. And you have to have, I would think, an attitude of gratitude when you wake up now, thinking that you get to wake up in a regular bed and not a cell, right?
Yes, I'm so grateful. A lot of things I took for granted, and I appreciate everything so much more now.
Yeah.
And it's sad that we don't appreciate things until they're taken away from us. But I appreciate every moment I spend.
Yeah. So
free.
That's
alive.
Awesome. Yeah. So did you already have your birthday, or are you getting ready to celebrate a birthday?
Oh no, my birthday was October 12th.
October 12th. And you said that was the first birthday that you, in 12 years that you got to spend, right? And
yes.
you're a young 31 years old.
Yes, I am.
That's the same. You're right in between my two boys. My one son's 33 and the other would have been 30. So
sorry about your loss.
Yeah, I'll see him again in heaven one day. So I just go with that. He was a little 6.5-month-old. I lost him to SIDS.
Sorry.
So do you have any kids?
I have one son, yes.
And how old is he?
He's 12.
12. Oh, okay. So like right when you were going.
Like I got incarcerated before he was even born.
Oh goodness. So do you have a relationship with him?
Yes, I do. It's not the best because I'm still learning. First of all, I'm still adjusting to society.
Yes.
Let alone to try to be a father. Sometimes I mistake like material things as love, and I say, okay, well, if I'm doing this and I'm doing that, then I'm doing. It's more I should be doing, and I got to hold myself accountable, and I'm gonna do more.
Yeah. Got to take that materialistic things out of the picture a lot of times. I learned that with my son. I used to bring him home a little Hot Wheels car every day because I worked all the time. And then I remember one day I walked in the door and he was like, where's my car? And I was like, that's it. I didn't get a hi mom, anything. I was like, okay, we're done with that. So, it's those little things like that. So where do you live?
I'm currently in Ohio. I'm from New York though.
Oh, you're from New York. Okay. So is that where you were incarcerated in New York?
I've been incarcerated in New York, but I was incarcerated. I did 12 years here.
Oh, okay. So growing up in New York, were you like right in the city?
Yes, I'm from Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. Okay. So what was Wes's like life growing up? Were you on the streets a lot? Were you sports?
Life wasn't the easiest. Sports, I tried all the sports. I don't think that just wasn't my thing. growing up wasn't the easiest. My father died when I was young,
Mm.
so you know, and my brother was in and out of jail. I was in and out of juvenile, and as I got older, it progressed to prison, and I didn't have any like male role model in my life to follow after, but people in the street, and
Right.
that's what I turned to. You know, unfortunately, my mother was on drugs, so my upcoming wasn't the best.
Mhm.
She's sober now. She's clean. She's been clean for a long time,
Nice.
and you know, I'm grateful and blessed for that. I'm so happy that she has her life together.
Yes.
So my grandmother took us in, and she showed us love. I was just rebellious.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it was I was yearning for, what I was missing, but it's something I was missing. I'm still trying to figure it out to this day. But yeah, I was in a lot of trouble in school and the streets. And it just got worse. So, I sold drugs. I've never actually done drugs outside of like marijuana or liquor. But yeah, my life, that's my life.
Yeah. So you said that you were in and out of jail in New York a lot.
Hmm.
Then did you move to Ohio like to get away from it, or
No, I
why would you
was
live in Ohio?
my son's mother was pregnant and I wanted to see my son born. So I came here, but I was on a run. I came here to lay low for a while and I was gonna go back and see him born and I was gonna turn myself in. It
Mm,
didn't work out like that. That's when I wound up catching another case and I did it 12 years.
okay. Okay. So that's, yeah. So that was in an Ohio prison then?
Yes.
Okay. What prison was that, if you don't mind me asking?
I was in a few. I was in Warren Correctional Institution. I transferred to Lebanon Correctional Institution. I got my level dropped, and then I went to London Correctional Institution, and then I got inside charge of conveyance of drugs, and I got sent to Trumbull Correctional Institution, and then I ended up back in Lebanon.
Wow. So what was your sentence, like your original sentence? Because I'm sure it
My,
was 12 to so many years, or
no, no, it's flat. It's flat time here.
oh, it's flat 12 years.
Yes, they don't have tails. Like it's not 12 to 15 or 12 to
Oh,
30.
okay.
They stopped at I think back in '96 or something like
Oh,
that.
did they? Because, well, my ex was in for like 15 to 30, I think, or something like that. So that's why I
No,
was
most
wondering.
states, most states are that way, but not here. They stopped at the flat time and it's day for day. So every day you get is every day you do. You're not getting out early.
Oh, okay, I see. I see. So you went into prison. You said earlier to me, do you want to, can you share why you went?
I had an aggravated vehicular homicide. I had a fleeing and eluding, and I had a possession of fentanyl and heroin.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot. So, so let's go, I guess, sitting in prison at first. I mean, I can't imagine. So you were in and out, but
Mhm.
what made you decide that you were going to come out this time and it was going to be different?
Honestly, um, I can say for the first 9 years, I didn't learn anything.
Okay.
I went in, I was 18. I didn't learn anything. I was just trying to get through the time. So I didn't take the time to work on myself.
Hmm.
But my last 3 years is when I started to figure me out a little bit. And I started to dig more into me. And I realized I don't have no more time to give to the system. I've
Hmm.
wasted enough of my life. And I have a son, and it's selfish for me to not be there for him. Also, for my family members, like it's actually harder on my family members than it is me because I can do the time. It kills them to see me in there. It kills
Sure.
them to come visit me. It kills them to put money on my books. It kills them to have to see me through a JPay or email. And I started to realize the pain I was causing other people.
Mhm.
And I had to start. I just realized I didn't want to be selfish anymore, and I wanted to do better. I
Mhm.
was never a bad guy. I never was. I never like intentionally caused anyone harm. I've
Right.
never like you know had malicious intent.
Right.
to do anything harmful to anyone,
Mhm.
you know. But I am a man, so I will protect myself by any means necessary. I'm not looking for any trouble,
Right.
but I knew I needed to change, and I know I have a greater purpose because
Yeah.
there's so many times I should have been dead,
Mhm.
but God kept His hand on me and kept me alive. So I still haven't really fully found out my purpose or
Mhm.
what it is He's sparing me for, but I hope to find out soon.
You will. You will. I think you will. So when you say that, shoot, I'm 57 years old and I'm just now figuring out my purpose. So don't wait that long. Figure it out now. You
Yeah,
know,
I'm trying.
yeah,
I'm trying. I'm asking. I'm doing different things to find out what my thing is. Is you know,
it'll come. It'll come. I
yeah, nah.
believe,
I believe it'll come.
yeah,
I
I
have faith.
believe that all of us on this planet Earth have a purpose or a gift. And it's figuring out what that is. Now, some people's gift might just be that they make fried chicken good, right? That's what Steve
Hmm.
Harvey says. I listen to
Hmm.
Steve Harvey a lot.
Hmm.
And he'll talk
Yeah, I
about
like Steve Harvey.
or cutting grass, like
Yeah,
that's their gift, right? So
yeah.
we all have one and we all have a purpose. And when you said that, I can relate to, like, so many times I should not be alive. I mean, there
Hmm.
was so many times, and God
Hmm.
spared me from that. And there's so many
Hmm.
things that I went through that God said, okay, now you have the story of hope to share with somebody else. And I think that's really important. So yeah, it's awesome that you know that, and you feel that you have a purpose. So now that you're out, or do you have a job now?
Excuse me. Yes, I do have a job.
What are you doing, if you don't mind me asking?
Um, well, I work at a manufacturing company.
Okay.
I'm also a motivational speaker.
See, there you go. So
Mhm.
is that what you're using your podcast platform or your TikTok for, is like the motivation part of it?
That was my intention,
Uh-huh.
but sometimes I get a little carried away and I get sidetracked.
Yeah. Well, when I look at your TikToks, I see a lot of hope. I see a lot of sharing your story of struggle, but I also see you just living life too. And now that, to me, that's important, especially like
Mhm.
me with my podcast and stuff. Sometimes it's very serious. Well, most of my podcasts are like real life stuff, so we're pretty serious. But at the same time, I do a lot of dancing. I go dance
Age.
in the
I'm sorry.
street. That's okay. And I do a lot of those kind of things. So I think people need to know that we're real people.
Yes.
I see you got something distracting you there.
Yeah, my dog.
Your dog. Oh, what kind of dog do you have?
That's a pit bull.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think that, like doing that with your TikTok. Now, when you say motivational speaker, who do you think that your motivational speaking is going towards? Is it like younger people? Is it your age?
I would like to reach the youth. I would like to
Okay.
reach troubled youth,
Yeah.
before they get their mindset on this is the only thing they know or this is the only route that they have to take. I want them to know that they have options and they don't have to do it. They don't have to end up like how I did
Right.
because it only gets worse.
Mm-hmm. So how is there like ways that you can reach out to schools or anything like that to speak to them, or
I don't know actually, but it's something I'm glad you said that, and I will look into it.
Mhm.
It's something I would love to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I mean, your story is something that would and the thing about it is too, is, I mean, you're 31 years young, so, and you look really
Hmm.
young. So that way, hopefully the youth can relate to you, where me at 57 trying to tell a 13-year-old girl like, hey, this is what happened to me, they're looking at me like, yeah, okay, old lady. I mean, I'm not kidding, I know, because they don't look at it like that. And I
Because
think
they don't. You gotta excuse them because they don't know no better.
they don't know
They,
any
they
better.
don't know that everything they're doing we've done already. They
Exactly.
think they think they're inventing this stuff.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. My nieces lived with me. I had two nieces that lived with me, and both of them, they were like they're 9 years apart, 8 years apart. So what different times they lived with me, and they try all these things, and I catch them every time, and they'd be like, how do you keep catching us? I'm like, I already did it. I've already done it. I don't know why you guys don't understand this, but,
Yes.
and I want to say this to you, and maybe this will help you or anything, but when you're talking to anybody and you share a little bit of, little seeds or drippings of things that happen, I always think, we're just planting a seed maybe, and maybe someday that kid that you talk to goes to do something and he thinks, oh my gosh, Wes said this, so I shouldn't do it like that. So I always encourage to keep planting those seeds, because we don't know whose life we're affecting with those, so yeah. So you're working in a factory. Is that different for you? Well, it's got to be different for you because you did
Yes.
that before you left, apparently.
Yes, it is different. It's different for me. It has its difficult times. It's times that I don't want to go. It's times I feel like there's other things I could be doing, and sometimes I feel like I'm wasting my time and my life. But I decided to trust the process.
Yes.
I'm just gonna trust the process. It's like I'm gonna take it one day at a time.
Yep.
That's all I can do.
That's all you can do. And trust the process. Like you said, there is a reason why you're at that factory right now. And it might be to save one person's life, just by, I don't know if you talk to a lot of people at work or not, but I'm
I talk
sure
to everybody.
Yeah. So there you go. So I'm sure that, somebody's going to hear your story and be like, oh, well, if he did it, I can do it, and that's, I think what we need. I feel like in our world, we just need to be like that more, like show people that there is kindness and people do care and we want better lives than what we lived. Right. Because I'm sure that you, and especially like with having your son who's 12, I mean, you definitely, work on that relationship for him because you don't want him to think that that's the way to live life,
Yes.
Yeah. So now, does he live close to you now?
No, he's in New York.
Oh, he's in New York still. Oh, okay. You're in Ohio still. Now, are you on probation, parole, or anything like that?
I am on parole.
Yeah. How long are you on parole for, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, I was 4.5 years.
Okay.
But I'm eligible to come off after 1 year, as long as I do everything that they ask me to do.
Okay. And you're going to do everything they ask you to do.
Yes.
I mean, I would think so. I would try the best, right?
Yeah. Well, they just want me to maintain employment.
Yeah. And nowadays that's not hard because everybody's looking for employees. Jeez. So, so coming out of there, was there a lot of changes in the world when you came out, like culture shock? Or not really?
A little bit. It was a little bit of change, but it wasn't that much because you got to think, I went in 2010.
Yeah.
So technology was already advanced.
Yeah.
They already had the iPhones and all of that. So it's not much really, like I didn't miss a lot.
Right. Now, had you gotten an education before you went into prison?
Yes.
Did you graduate?
No.
Did you get your GED or anything?
I got my GED in prison.
Yeah. Did you take any like college courses too, or no?
I did. I took up business management.
Okay.
I did some trades. I did carpentry. I did real estate. I think those were the two I did.
Good.
Yes.
That's good. I just interviewed a gentleman that I met at a reggae festival, and he was in prison for 26 years in California. He was a blood, ended up a murder. Anyways, he got his college degree first and then his GED. I was like, oh, okay. I guess when you're in prison, you can do it backwards. I don't know, but
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't either. That's what he said. So maybe California is different with that. But anyways, yeah. So it's awesome that you were willing to like get on here and chat with us a little bit. I hope that your motivational speaking thing goes farther, I know you talked about starting a podcast. What would your podcast want to be about?
Life. Just life. Just I would like to just do different topics and like interview different people,
Yeah,
different cultures, different, you know, get different perspectives about life and
yeah,
things people go through.
yeah. That's awesome. I'm encouraging you to do that. Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people that feel like as you said, they're going through, like they're the only one going through something, but there's
Mhm.
always somebody out there that's going through the same thing.
Yep.
And it's like, if you hear it, you may not feel alone.
Right. And that's the thing, they say that if you took all your problems and you threw them in a pile with everybody else's, you're probably going to go grab your own because your problems aren't near as bad as some of the other people's, and
Yeah.
that's a fact. I listen
Mhm.
to a lot of stories and I hear a lot and I'm like, ooh, even like through my struggles through addiction. And I did a TikTok with my friend Sonia last night and she was like, her story's like, whoa. And I'm like, wow, my story's nothing, but it's really is something. But it's that like perspective on it. So yeah. So good. I'm glad that so do you live by yourself then?
No.
No, no. I didn't know if you lived in I didn't know if you got out and you went to like a halfway house or how that worked in Ohio, or you just
Um,
get your own places.
um, no, I did go to a halfway house at first, but that is because that was part of me getting out.
Okay. Yeah.
I had to go there before I got out.
Okay.
They wanted to show me how to adjust back into society, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it's a process and hopefully the process is better than what it used to be, because I know a lot of times they used to say it was like a revolving door, because you
Mhm.
didn't get any rehab help, I guess, because coming
Yeah,
back out, especially if you've been gone for 12 years, I mean, trying to learn to live life,
mhm.
especially not selling drugs. I mean,
From my experience of being in the system, they're trying to make a change. They're trying to. I can see a little bit of change that they're trying to make to prepare people for society. But
mhm,
what most people fail to realize is in prison, excuse me, in prison, you don't have any responsibilities.
right.
You don't have to pay bills.
Mhm,
You don't have to take anyone to school. You don't have to pick anyone up. You don't have to be to work. You don't have to. So when you take that from someone, they become accustomed to just living, like just waking up and just getting through the day.
yeah.
So it's difficult when you get back out. You have to readjust back into society and realize them days are over with. It's time to get back to the real world, and it's things you got to do. You got to handle your responsibilities.
Yeah,
You
that's got to be a big change.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And I
Yeah.
know I've talked to a few people that were former drug dealers that, that was pretty easy money, I mean, to say, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then
Mm-hmm.
and they've, my one I've interviewed, his name's Dean Swift. He lives down in Florida and he's still on parole in Texas, which I don't know how that
Mm-hmm.
works, but anyways, he's on parole till like 2026, I think. But he's
Mm-hmm.
like the CEO of a company and everything like that. But he said when he first got out, it was hard because that was fast money, right? And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so learning to live a different life, like, okay, and living like you said before there, I mean, you're in prison and life's happening outside. Now life's happening to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's now it's the feelings and the responsibilities and the consequences and
Mm-hmm.
everything, that's got to be a lot, I would
It
think.
it is. It's like being on a basketball team, but you sit on the bench.
Yeah,
Eventually, your time is going to come to go in the game.
yeah.
You know?
And then you got to learn, right? It's like a learning experience, I bet.
Yeah, yeah. It's going to be a lot of bumps in the road for sure. It's going to be a lot of setbacks.
Hmm.
I just remind myself of where I came from, and I don't want to go back to that.
Yeah. And I think that's probably one of the biggest things that I say to people, that especially early in their recovery, I'm like, don't ever forget how sick you were, and don't ever
Mm-hmm.
forget where you were at when you quit, and I
Mm-hmm.
think that's so important, even like what you just said, and just waking up every day and being like, yeah, I'm blessed to wake up. I'm blessed I'm not in a cell anymore. And I'm blessed that I can go maybe offer somebody, a hope,
Mm-hmm.
so And I think that you're doing that because you wouldn't have came across my page if you weren't. I can just say that. Or wouldn't have caught my attention either. I was following you for a little while to see and watch. And, that's why I get on TikTok. I like to see the stories of people that are out there, like trying to make a better place, for this world. So, yeah. Is there anything that you want to say before we wrap it up to anybody?
I just want to let y'all know whatever you're going through, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. It'll get better. You may not see the light at the end of the tunnel, but it'll get better. Trust me. I've been there. I've done it. It's times I've lost faith, but God kept His hand on me, and I'm still here.
Yeah.
I don't have it all the way put together, but I'm gonna figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that you said you don't have it all together, because that's what I tell people. I've interviewed a few people and they're like, well, I really haven't gotten to a strength. And then I'm like, well, you're smiling and you're talking, so you're getting to a strength. And we still all go through struggles, and I think just having the tools to get through those struggles and learn how to get through them instead of, going back to our old ways of living, So yeah, I'm excited to, I always tell my guests, like in a year, 6 months, check back and we'll do another interview, see where you're at, what's going on, and how things are going with your motivational speaking and with your podcast. I can't wait to hear how that goes. Who knows? Maybe I'll be a guest on Wes's podcast someday.
Hey,
Yeah,
hopefully.
I can talk all about recovery. Let me tell you, I can talk about recovery. I can talk about domestic violence. I can talk about losing a child. I can talk about losing a parent. So I can totally relate to, some of the things you've been through. So yeah. So yeah. Well, I thank you for getting on here with me today, Wes. I hope that you have an amazing evening. I get to go to work in an hour. Yay.
Okay, thank you for having
All
me.
right.
I appreciate it.
Yes.
You have a wonderful night.
I will. Thank you too, Wes. You have a great night.
Okay, you too.
Thanks.